Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And today we're starting at text 36.
That's right.
यही सब ग्रंथ कैल गोसाई सनातन रूप गोसाई कैल जत के करु गणन. We have already given the names of 4 books compiled by Sanatana Goswami. Similarly, Sri Rupa Goswami has also compiled many books, which no one can even count. So many books. Actually, that reminds me, there is a temple called Radha Madan Mohanji in Vrindavan, and just beside it is a Samadhi of Sanatana Goswami, and beside that, is something called Book Samadhi. This is Samadhi of books that were considered very esoteric by even these devotees. So they wrote it and they said nobody will understand, they'll misunderstand it. So they buried those books. So my point is that these people wrote so many books. Like amazing how much literature is there. And some of it was so advanced that they considered that people would misunderstand, people would make mistakes, and so better to bury those books. Anyway, text 37. प्रधान प्रधान किछु करिए गणन लक्ष्य ग्रंथ कैल ब्रज विलास वर्णन. I shall therefore enumerate the chief books compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. He has described the pastimes of Vrindavan in 100,000 verses. Text 38. Rasamrit Sindhu are Vidagdha Madhav, Ujjwala Neelamani are Lalita Madhav. The book compiled by Sri Rupa Goswami include the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhav, Ujjwal Neelamani, and Lalit Madhav. Text 3940. दान के लिए कौमुदी और बहुस्तावली अष्टादश नीलाक्षंद और पद्यावली गोविंद विरुदावली तहार लक्षण मथुरा महात्म्य और नाटक वर्णन. Srila Rupa Goswami also compiled the Dan Keli Kaumudi, Stavali, Lila Chanda, Padyavali, Govind Virudavali, Mathura Mahatmya, and Natak Varnam. So, a quick quiz. Everyone has heard the verse. How does it go? Naham Vipro Nacha Grahapati, Naham Vipro Nacha, sorry, Naham Vipro Nacha Narpati,
Napi.
Huh?
Napi.
Napi Vaishya
Yes.
Nasudro,
Shudro.
Naham Varni Nacha Grahapati, no one is to, no one is to Yatirva. And go, how does it go?
Purna Pratap. Purna
No.
Amritab Dher.
Sorry?
Purna Amritab Dher.
No,
Padakamali.
that's
But there is
later.
a.
That's later.
Yes.
Kintu Pradhan.
Gopi Bhartul Pad Kamalyo Das Das Anudasa. So he's saying
Yes.
that I'm not Brahmin, I'm not Kshatriya, I'm not Shudra, and I'm not Vaishya, I'm not Brahmachari, I'm not Vaishya, Sannyasi, I'm not Grihastha. So, but I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna. So you know what that book's that verse is from? That's from Padyavali. From Goswami, and then it's quoted in Madhya also, Charitamrita. Anyway, just want to point out, I screwed it up, but I pointed out that Padyavali is a very, very important book and quoted everywhere.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, are these books written in Bengali or in Hindi or English or what? Are they been translated?
All these books are in Bengali or Sanskrit. Okay. So Padyavali is in Bengali, but I think Stavavali is Sanskrit. Dan Keli Kaumudi, not sure, but that's probably Bengali. But anyway, so either Bengali or Sanskrit, no Hindi, no English.
Okay.
At that time, there was no English anyway.
Yeah.
500 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. text 41. लघु भागवतामृत आदि के करु गणन सर्वत्र करिल ब्रज विलास वर्णन. Who can count the rest of the books headed by the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, written by Srila Rupa Goswami? Is describe the pastimes of Vrindavan in all of them. Okay, so let's read the purport. Very long purport.
Can I start, Prabhuji?
You can start, yes.
Okay, purport. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has given a description of these books. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is a great book for instruction on how to develop devotional service to Krishna, Lord Krishna and follow the presidential process. It is finished in the year 1463, Sukabda, AD 1541. This book is divided into 4 parts: Purva Vibhaga, Eastern Division, Dakshina Vibhaga, Southern Division, Pachima Vibhaga, Western Division, and Uttara Vibhaga, Northern Division. In the Parva Vibhaga, there is a description of the permanent development of devotional service, the general principle of devotional service, the execution of devotional service, ecstasy in devotional service, and ultimately the attainment of love of Godhead are described. In this way, there are 4 Lahiris waves in this division of the ocean of the nectar of devotion.
Thank you, bro. So this is Bhakti Rasama Sindhu that Srila Prabhupada translated as Nectar of Devotion. And this is the book for the process of devotional service. So we talked about last week 3 things: Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojan.
प्रयोजन.
So Rupa Goswami is the Abhidheya Acharya. So in other words, he explained the process of devotional service. And this book, Nectar of Devotion, is the most authoritative treatise on devotional service. So it says, again, divided in number of parts. And it says, in the first one, the Purva Vibhaga, is description of permanent development of devotional service, the general principles of devotional service, execution of devotional service, and ecstasy in devotional service. And then ultimately, attainment of love of God are described. So, wonderful book. I think most of us have read it. I know I covered the Purva 3-4 years ago, and some of you were there in that class. Okay, next paragraph, somebody else.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Please, Mataji, go ahead.
In the Dakshin Vibhaga, Southern Division, there is a general description of the mellow relationship called Bhakti Ras, which is derived from the devotional service. There are also descriptions of the stages known as Vibhava, Anubhav, Sattvik, Avabhichari, and Sthai Bhav. All these are high platform of devotional service. Thus, there are 5 waves in the Dakshin Vibhag division. In the Western division, Paschim Vibhag, there is a description of the chief transcendental humor derived from the devotional service. There are also as Mukhya Bhakti Ras Anupam, or attainment of the chief humor of feeling in the execution of devotion service. In that part, there is a description of the devotion service in neutrality, further development in love and affection, called servitude. Further development in fraternity, further development in parenthood or parental love. The final conjugal love between Krishna and his devotees. Thus, there are 5 ways in the Western division.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you. So there are lots of terms thrown in here. And I was kind of debating whether I should explain and risk confusing everybody. But then I thought I'll just say 1 or 2 sentences about each one of them so we have an understanding. And so there are different stages for devotional service. Now it talks about Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvic, Vibhichari, and Sthai Bhav. So Sthai Bhav basically is what you call permanent mood. Sthai means permanent, Bhav means mood. So permanent mood basically means that you may have different moods at different time, But permanent mood is it's like the king that rules over all other moods. So you may have the mood of Sakhiras, Dasiras, etc., but you have one permanent mood. So, for example, somebody who's a parent, like Yashoda Maiya or Nanda Maharaj, they stay in that mood permanently. They never say, oh, maybe I should move to Madhuri Ras. Oh, no, let me move to, you know, Das Ras. Nothing like that. That's their permanent mood. So similarly, in any mellow, somebody may be there, and that's their permanent mood. Our problem is that we don't know what a permanent mood is yet. And that's why, someday we get some kind of a mellow or mood, and then sometime later it's totally different because it's not sthai, it's asthai, which means temporary. So that's one point I wanted to make. And then it says here that, this vibhav and anubhav. So vibhav basically means that when we get the stimulant to agitate our whatever permanent mood is, then that's vibhav. And it's external. And then there's internal, which is anubhav, sorry, opposite. Vibhav is internal stimulant that comes from inside, and anubhav is external stimulant that that again agitates our sthai bhav and brings it into prominence, I should say. And then you have the sattvic bhav talks about, which is basically it's a, how do you say it? It comes from inside, the essence of our existence. So again, it brings about the sthai bhav or the permanent thing. So that's one thing. I know I probably didn't do a very good job, but just want to say a few words. And then it says here, these are in the Western division, this description of chief transcendental humors derived from devotional service known as Mukhya Bhakti Ras Nirupan, which are basically the 5 main mellows that we all know: Shanturas, Dasiras, Sakhiras, and Madhuriras. Sorry, Vatsaliras and Madhuriras. So those are the 5 main mellows. And then it says here, let's see. No, I think that's it. Let's read the next paragraph.
May I, Prabhu?
Please go ahead.
In the northern division, Uttara Vibhaga, there is a description of the indirect mellows of devotional service, namely devotional service in laughter, devotional service in wonder, and devotional service in chivalry, pity, anger, dread, and ghastliness. There are also mixing of mellows and the transgression of different humors. Thus, there are 9 waves in this part. This is but a brief outline of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So there is what you call indirect mellows. So the main mellows are the 5 we just talked about: Shanta, Dasa, Sakhya, Vatsal, and Madhurya. But then the secondary bhavas, also known as second, I guess secondary is the word. I was thinking gone. Gone basically means secondary. So there's 7 of them. And some of them mentioned here: laughter, which is hasya; grief, which is shoka; anger, which is krodha; enthusiasm, which is utsah; fear, that's bhaya; disgust, that's jugupsa; and astonishment, that is vismaya. So these 7 are the secondary mellows, and they mix in different combinations with the primary mellows. So, for example, Radharani, who's in Madhya Ras, may sometimes be angry, which is Krodha mellow, the secondary mellow. Sometimes may be sad, so Shoka. Sometimes she may be very enthusiastic to meet Krishna, Utsaha, things like that. So they mix with the main mellows, and basically they increase the pleasure and the variety by increasing the variety of the mellow that they're enjoying with Krishna. So anyway, that's again a very short description. Any questions? Or did I confuse everybody so much that it's okay to proceed?
Prabhuji, I have a question on the last paragraph.
Okay.
So these 5 were mentioned, right? Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika, Vyabhichari, and
Right.
Sai Bhava. So, what is the placement of Vyabhichari? As in, like, is this sequential or just
Oh, no,
types?
definitely. No,
These
definitely
are
not.
just types.
It's basically, what do you call it? They include things like, Brahmachari basically means not behaving properly. That's the literal meaning. And but they exude envy, disgust, anxiety, indignation, joy, bashfulness. They're very transitory bhavas or moods, but they are, you can say, the negative side of the whole thing for most part, like disgust, envy, anxiety, so indignation. But this is it's not. Um,
Material.
it's not linear, or it's not in series. They come and go. They can come in any order.
Okay. And these are not material feelings that we are talking about. Is it like
But so here in this context, we're talking about pure devotional service.
right?
Okay.
Thank
Anyone
you,
else?
sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Would you add a question too?
Barabar.
So, we were talking about what is the natural feelings that we have, what are like the
Primary, yeah.
Satya
Primary meaning.
Bhava, the primary feelings.
Mhm.
So, since we don't know what our primary feelings are, we should focus on a certain type. Like we should maybe just be focusing on the Dasya Bhav right now, as
So
opposed to
that's
trying
correct.
to.
That's a very good point. So we don't know what Siddh Swarup is. Therefore, we don't know what our primary mellow is. But everyone in whichever mellow they are, even in the spiritual world, everybody has Dasya Bhav. So what happens is that if you're in Madhurya Bhav, you have Vatsalya, Sakya, Dasya, and Shant included in that. If you have Vatsalya Bhav, you have Dasya, Sakya, and Shant included in that. If you have Sakya, then you have Dasya. So everybody has Dasya.
Yes.
So because we don't know, and also Lord Chaitanya said, not only you're the servant of Krishna, you're the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. And that should be our mood. So there's no confusion. We are always in Dasya and serving the servant of the servant of the servant.
Because I know sometimes people say we have this type of mood towards Krishna. Not
Especially
that,
Vatsalya.
yeah,
And it's a dangerous thing. Yeah,
okay.
we're not qualified. The only way we can have Vatsalya Bhav is that we follow in the footsteps of Yashoda Maya by serving her. That's the only thing we have.
Yes.
But we can't, just. I've had devotees come to me and said, today I was so angry I chastised Krishna. I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. So don't get into that kind of Vatsalya.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure. Okay. Somebody else read the next paragraph, please.
I can read Prabhuji.
Please go ahead. I have no clue.
Okay, so now,
Represent the Madhav.
so the Vidgat Madhav is a drama of Lord Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. Srila Rupa Goswami finished this book in the year 1454, Shakabda AD 1532. The first part of this drama is called Venudan Vilasa. The second part, Mana Matha Leka. The third part, Radha Sangha. The fourth part, Venu Harana. The fifth part, Radha Prasadana. The sixth part, Sharad Vihara. And the seventh and last part, Gauri Viraha.
Vihara. So I have not read this book, but I think I should translate the meanings of these different parts. So Venu Nad Vilas, Venu is the flute, Nad is the sound, and Vilas is enjoyment. So enjoying the sound of the flute. That's basically it's all about the flute. Second part is Manmath Lekha. Manmath is it? Anybody knows?
Cupid.
Cupid, yes, very good. Cupid. So it's about the Cupid nature of Lord Krishna, the all attractive feature of Krishna. The third part is Radha Sangha, so association with Radha Rani. Fourth is Venu Harana. Harana means to steal. So this is where he gets his flute stolen. So all pastimes about that. There are a number of pastimes about that. And the fifth part is Radha Prasadan. I'm guessing here, but I think that means the mercy of Radharani or pleasing Radharani. The sixth part is Sharad Vihar. Sharad is the autumn season. So all the pastimes in the autumn season. And the last part is Gauri Vihar. Gauri is Radharani. So enjoying Krishna's pastimes with Radharani. Okay. Next paragraph, please.
Should I read, Prabhuji?
Please go ahead.
There is also a book called Ujjvala Neelamani and Transcendental Account of Love Affairs that includes metaphor, analogy, and higher bhakti sentiments. Devotional services, conjugal love is described briefly in the Bhakti Ras Amrit Sindhu, but it is very elaborately discussed in the Ujjwal Neelamani. This book describes different types of lovers, their assistants, and those who are very dear to Krishna. There is also a description of Srimati Radharani and other female lovers, as well as various group leaders, messengers, and the constant associates, as well as others who are very dear to Krishna, are also described. The book also relates how love of Krishna is awakened and describes the ecstatic situation, the devotional service situation, permanent ecstasy, disturbed ecstasy, steady ecstasy, different positions of different dresses, feelings of separation, prior attraction, anger and attraction, varieties of loving affairs, separation from the beloved, meeting with the beloved, and both direct and indirect enjoyment between the lover and the beloved. All this has very elaborately, all this has been very elaborately described.
Thank you, Prabhu. So again, Neelamani is the blue sapphire gem, and Ujjwal means effulgent. So this is like the effulgent pastimes of Lord Krishna, especially the loving affairs. And it describes in a lot of great detail about these devotional services and defines different types of lovers, assistants, friends, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of very detailed, esoteric descriptions of these things. Again, I've not read this book either, so I cannot speak much, but it does talk about in great detail different types of ecstasies, different kind of dresses they wear, uh, love and separation, love and union, prior attraction means prove anurag, which means love even before you meet the person, loving in separation, being angry when because you're attracted to the person, which kind of sounds funny, and all sorts of variety of loving affairs. They're all described in this book. So again, a very, very esoteric book. Next paragraph, please.
Can read it, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead. Yeah, Gautam.
Similarly, the Lalita Madhava is a description of Krishna's pastimes in Dwarka. These pastimes were made into a drama, and the work was finished in the year 1459 Sakabda. The first part deals with festivities in the evening, the second with the killing of Sankachuda, the third with the Madam Srimati Radharani, the fourth with Radharani's proceeding toward Krishna, the fifth with the achievement of Chandravali, the sixth with the achievement of Lalita, the seventh with the meeting in Nava Vrindavana, the eighth with the enjoyment in Nava Vrindavana, the ninth with looking over pictures, and the 10th with complete satisfaction of the mind. Thus, the entire drama is divided into 10 parts.
Thank you, Prabhu. So I have to admit, I was a little confused on this paragraph because it talks about Krishna's pastimes in Dwarka and suddenly it's talking about Radharani, Chandravali, their meetings. So again, I've not read this book, so I'm not sure if you're wondering how that's possible. I'm wondering too, so I don't know. But that's what this book is.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu?
So, yeah, so as you said that I had an opportunity to go, but I didn't understand much. Some of these books you mentioned, Ujjwal Neelmani and all that, those are difficult to understand
Oh, yeah,
at certain
yeah.
level.
That's
At
right.
certain level, the different bhava comes, how can Krishna do? So I'm not going there.
That's exactly
So I had
right.
the opportunity to go. So that's where I this. So here, the other it's principal queens, right? They wanted to see the pastime. So it is said near Dwarika, there is a place developed,
Okay.
and this is where the all pastime has happened.
Okay, yes, I remember now. Yes, yes, yes.
Near. So
Yes.
details,
Yes,
and
yes.
how Radha Rani and other Sakhis and they interact with each other. Krishna goes from one place to another. So much of the confusion and so much of the things are there. So, but the place is there near, and that's what he's talking about there.
Now I remember. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes, I know I remember.
Okay.
Yes, correct, correct. Okay, thank you. Okay, next paragraph, please.
I can read through.
Please go ahead, please, Sundari Mataji.
The Lagu Bhagavatamrita is divided into two parts. The first is called the Nectar of Krishna, and the second, the Nectar of the Devotional Service. The importance of Vedic evidence is stressed in the first part, and this is followed by the description of the original form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Sri Krishna, and descriptions of his pastimes and expansions in Swamsha, personal forms, and Vibhinnamsha. According to different absorptions, the incarnations are called Avesha and Tad Ekatma. The first incarnation is divided into three Purushavataras, namely Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Then there are the three incarnations of modes of nature, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Shiva. All paraphernalia used in the service of the Lord is transcendental, beyond the three qualities of this material world. There is also a description of 25 Lila avatars, namely Chatuhans, Chatuhasana, the Kumaras, the Narada, Varaha, Matsya, Yajna, Naranarayan Rishi, Kapila, Dattatreya, Haigriv, Hamsa, Prishnigarbha, Rishabha, Prithu, Nrsinga, Kurma, Dhanvantari, Mohini, Vamana, Parshuram, Dasharathi, Krishna Dvaipayan, Balaram, Vasudev, Buddha, and Kalki. There are also 14 incarnations of Manu, Yajna, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, Vaman, Swarvabhauma, Sarvabhaum, Rishabha, Vishwakshena, Dharmasetu, Sudama, Yogeshwar, and Brihadbhanu. There are also 4 incarnations of the 4 yugas, and their colors are described as white, red, blackish, and black. Sometimes yellow, as in this case of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are different types of millenniums and incarnations for those millenniums. The categories called Avesha, Prabhava, Vaibhava, and Para constitute different situations for the different incarnations. According to specific pastimes, the names are spiritually empowered. There are also descriptions of the difference between the powerful and the power and the inconceivable activities of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, thank you. So this is another very, very good, interesting book. And it talks about the different pastimes and expansions of Krishna. So as we know, there are, on a broader level, 2 categories. One is Swansha, which is personal form. So all the Vishnu Tattva incarnations are known as Swansha. And then Vibhinnansha. Who's Vibhinnansha?
Living entities.
Yes, us. We are Vibhinnansha.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all these incarnations are Swansha. Okay. So then it says there are Avesh avatar and it's Tad Ekatma avatar. So Avesh avatar we know the empowered incarnations, which is where a particular living entity is given special powers for a particular purpose. So any
Yeah.
examples we can think of Avesh avatar?
Shaktya Veshavatar
Parshuram,
Yes,
Parshuram Bhagwan.
and Srila Vasudev is Shaktya Veshavatar.
Okay.
And Prithu was Shaktya
Yes,
Veshavatar.
very good.
Yeah.
Buddha, Lord Buddha.
Buddha, Narad Muni. So yeah,
Narad
so
Muni.
those are
So
Avesh
many.
avatars. Okay. Then Tadekatma is basically source avatar. There's so many of them. And then it goes into further divisions, Purusha avatars. So we know Mahavishnu is the first Purush, Gavadaksha Vishnu is the second Purush, and Chodaksha Vishnu is the third Purush. So they're the Purusha avatars. Then it goes into qualitative incarnations, Guna avatars. So who are they?
Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Correct. So Brahma in charge of mode of
Passion.
passion, Lord
Passion.
Shiva,
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
and Lord Vishnu.
Palan.
Mode of goodness.
Okay,
Goodness.
that's a trick question. It cannot
It's
be in charge of mode of goodness. It's material.
Vishuddha Sattva.
Yes,
Should.
yes. Pure goodness.
pure goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's them. Then it says here 25 Lila avatars. So you know with all these names are mentioned here, they're all Lila avatars. And then it talks about Manus. How many Manus are there?
14.
In one day of Brahma?
Hmm?
In one
14.
day of
So,
Brahma?
14.
14.
14
Correct.
Manus.
So in each of these Manus, Manvantaras, which is the reign of the Manus, they also appear, the Lord appears as a personality who has same name. So for example, this Yajna appeared as in the first Manu time, Swayambhu Manu. And in the Goa, second is Vibhu, third is Satyasena, and so on and so forth. They have different names, but then these names appeared in that Manvantara. Am I making sense? So it says Yajna became the first Manu, right? Swayambhu Manu. But Yajna
Manu is not Vishnu himself, right? Like, I mean, Krishna himself. So,
Manu is not Krishna.
I mean, like, Krishna doesn't appear as Manu, right? These are just.
Correct. These are expansions of actually Brahma, come from Brahma, the sons of Brahma. Oh, no, sorry. First Manu is son of Brahma, and then others have different. So, for example, second one was, let me remember. Second one was, what was the name? Second one was, let's see.
Chakshusha.
No, Swaruchis.
Okay.
So he was son of Agni. Then Satyasen came as Uttama, who was son of Priyavrata. Right? Then Tamas was brother of Uttama, another son of Priyavrata. So my point was that the sons have different personalities, and they come. So Priyavrata had like 3 or 4 sons who became Manus. So I'd say the third Manu, which is Uttam, fourth Manu, which is Tamas, fifth Manu, which is Ravat,
Yeah.
they were sons of Priyavrata. Then, if you remember in Chakshush Manvantar, there was the churning of the ocean had happened. And there was a personality by the name of Ajita who appeared to sit on the top of Mandrachal to make it stable. So he appeared in Chakshush Manu. Chakshush was son of a demigod Nam Chakshu. Right? And who is the current Manu? Anybody
Is it
know?
Swayambhuva Manu.
No, current Manu.
Vavasva.
Vivaswan.
Vivaswan.
Vivaswan is the son of Vivaswan. So, or Vaivaswat is called Vaivaswat Manu. And his real name is Shraddhavan. But it's known as Vaivaswat because Vaivaswat means son of this one. So my point is so on and so forth. But the names we are reading in this paragraph are those personalities who appeared in that particular Manu's reign. Okay, is that clear?
Yep.
Okay. All right. There are also 4 incarnations for the 4 yugas, and their colors are described as white, red, blackish, and black. Okay. Sometimes yellow, as in Lord Chaityanya's case. The different types of millenniums. So there are 4 millenniums, and the incarnations of different millenniums. Okay. Then the categories are called Avesh, Prabhav, Vaibhav, and Para. So Avesh we talked about, empowered incarnation.
Yeah.
Prabhav is like partial incarnation, partially empowered, not all the powers. Right? So, excuse me. like Nar Narayan, Vyasdev, they are Prabha avatars. And then you have Vaibhav avatar, which is full potency. So Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, etc., etc. Okay. According to specific person. Okay. The names are spiritually empowered. They also description different. Okay. All right. Anyway, any questions on this paragraph?
What about para?
Yeah, para basically means transcendental. So
Transcendental.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So apara is material or Maya Shakti, para is transcendental.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's do the next paragraph. Any volunteers?
I can read it, Prabhuji.
आप तो पढ़ चुके अभी किसी और पढ़ने दो.
I started, so I want to finish it too, Prabhuji. Okay.
I can read too.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sri Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one is greater than him. He is the source of all incarnations. In the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, there are descriptions of his partial incarnations, a description of the impersonal Brahman effulgence, actually the bodily effulgence of Sri Krishna, the super excellence of Sri Krishna's pastimes as an ordinary human being with two hands, and so forth. There is nothing to compare with the two-armed form of the Lord. In the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Jagat, there is no distinction between the owner of the body and the body itself. In the material world, the owner of the body is called the soul, and the body is called a material manifestation. In the Vaikuntha world, however, there is no such distinction. Lord Shri Krishna is unborn, and his appearance as an incarnation is perpetual. Krishna's pastimes are divided in two parts, manifest and unmanifest. For example, when Krishna takes his birth within this material world, his pastimes are considered to be manifest. However, when he disappears, one should not think that he is finished, for his pastimes are going on in an unmanifest form. Varieties of humors, however, are enjoyed by the devotees and Lord Krishna during his manifest pastimes. After all, his pastimes in Mathura, Vrindavan, and Dwarka are eternal and are going on perpetually somewhere in some part of the universe.
Yes, thank you. So manifest is in relation to us.
Hmm.
Manifest means manifest to us. And unmanifest means not manifest to us. So when we can see it, it's manifest pastime. So in other words, when it comes down to the material world, it's because manifest. When he is in the spiritual world, the same pastimes are going on, but they're unmanifest. Similarly, they're going on eternally in some universe, but they're not manifest to us. So they're also unmanifest pastime, but manifest to whichever universe is in. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, this is like what is unmanifested now in Vrindavan.
Correct.
So
but that doesn't mean that Krishna is not there.
Yes. But in the unmanifested form, Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Is that right? In the unmanifested form.
Yes, the pastimes are going on.
Yeah.
Manifest pastimes. And you know that if you go to Nidhiban, they still find the bed, with wrinkled sheets, and they still find the chewed pan, they still find the toothpick used even today.
Yeah.
Today, so we can't see it, but it's happening. The evidence is there.
In Nidhivan, it is said like that. In
Yeah.
Nidhivan, in Vrindavan.
Yeah. Okay.
Even after the big lock is there, still something is going on inside.
Yeah, that's right. That's why anybody who tries to stay there overnight, they goes mad or die.
Yeah.
Done for his life.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any questions before I move to text 42? Okay. Text 42. तार भातुस पुत्र नाम श्री जीव गोसाई जत भक्त ग्रंथ कैल तार अंत नाई. Sri Rupa Goswami's nephew, Srila Jiva Goswami, has compiled so many books on devotional service that there's no counting them. Does anybody know the name of the father of Jiva Goswami?
Anupam.
Anupam. That's correct.
Anupam, yeah.
And he was a Ram Bhakt. So sometimes Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami tease him that no, you should become Krishna Bhakta.
Yeah.
And so one time they actually pressed him quite hard and he said, okay, give me tonight to think about this. So in the morning he came back and he said, I'm so sorry, but I can't. I'm a Ram Bhakta, I'll remain a Ram Bhakta. And then I said, we're just teasing you. There's no difference between Krishna and Ram. So go ahead and continue to serve your Ram. Okay, text 43. श्री भागवत संदर्भ नाम ग्रंथ विस्तार भक्ति सिद्धांत तेरे ताते दिखाइया छेन आर पार. So I should also point out that Jiva Goswami wrote 400,000 verses alone by himself. 400,000 verses. Yeah. That's all the Vedas combined. So lots of verses there. Okay, translation. In Shri Bhagavad.
I'm using it.
I'm sorry, Ruchira Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, shall I read the text?
Translation.
Read me alone.
In Shri Bhagavad Sandarbh, Srila Jiva Goswami has written conclusively about the ultimate end of devotional service. Like, what is it? Ultimately, what is it? Okay, go ahead, Mataji, read the purport.
Bhagavad Sandarbh is also known as Sat Sandarbh. In the first part called Tattva Sandarbh, it is proved that Srimad Bhagavatam is the most authoritative evidence directly pointing to the absolute truth. Second Sandarbh, called Bhagavad Sandarbh, draws a distinction between impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma and describes a spiritual world and the domination of the mode of goodness, devoid of contamination by the other two material modes. In other words, there is a vivid description of the transcendental position known as Shuddha Sattva. Material goodness is apt to be contaminated by the other two material qualities, ignorance and passion. But when one is situated in the Shuddha Sattva position, there is no chance for such contamination. It is a spiritual platform of pure goodness. The potency of the Supreme Lord and the living entity is also described. And there is a description of the inconceivable energies and the varieties of energies of the Lord. The potencies are divided into categories: internal, external, personal, marginal, and so forth. There are also discussions of the eternality of the deity worship, the omnipotence of the deity, his all-pervasiveness, his giving shelter to everyone, his subtle and gross potencies, his personal manifestations, his expressions of form, qualities, and pastimes, his transcendental position, and his complete form. It is also stated that everything pertaining to the Absolute has the same potency, and that the spiritual world, the associates in the spiritual world, and the threefold energies of the Lord in the spiritual world, they are all transcendental. There are further discussions concerning the difference between the impersonal Brahman and the personality of Godhead, the fullness of the personality of Godhead, the objective of all Vedic knowledge, the personal potencies of the Lord, and the personality of Godhead as the original author of Vedic knowledge.
Thank you, Mataji. So again, this discussion of Shuddha Sattva, we talked about that already. That's no material contamination. And we also explains that in the material world, even those who are in mode of goodness, there's some presence of the mode of ignorance and passion in them also. There's nobody in pure unless you're on a spiritual platform. So that's one point being made here. And it talks about the different potencies of the Lord. Talks about internal potency, also known as
Hiladani.
No.
Parashakti.
Antarang Shakti.
Antaranga or Yog Maya.
Yoga. Okay.
External is Mahamaya, right? Bahiranga or Mahamaya. And personal, we'll talk about that. Marginal, that's us. Okay. So and then they have their own divisions. So internal potency is divided into three parts. I think one of them was mentioned, Ladani, but there are two other.
Chitta Shakti.
Yes, Chit Shakti.
And there is Sat Eternal Shakti.
Yes.
Tat Sam.
Sandhini.
Yes.
Sandhini.
Satchit Anand.
Sandhini, yes.
Okay.
Sandhini and Samved. Yeah.
So those are
Yes.
again, and then they are divided into further parts, goes on and on and on. But the interesting thing is that it's not hierarchical. So for example, you have Yoga Maya or internal potency, three parts we just talked about, Sandhini, Chitta and Hladini. Then Hladini Shakti takes the form of
Radharani's pleasure.
Radharani. And Radharani is
Yeah.
supreme. So it's not like Yoga Maya is higher than Radharani. So, but my point is this is not hierarchical division. It's just divisions, different
Yeah.
varieties, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, if it is not hierarchical, then I thought Yogamaya is an expansion of Radharani.
You're proving my point. It's not hierarchical. Firstly, it's all so Yoga Maya is just potency, right? Potency has no form.
Yeah.
So potency takes different forms, like Purnamasi in Krishna Lila. Everybody knows Purnamasi?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Is Yoga Maya. Subhadra, the sister of Krishna and Balaram, is Yoga Maya,
Yes.
taking a form.
Yeah.
But Ladini Shakti of Krishna takes the form of Radharani. So who's part of whom or whom, hard to say. They are there representing different potencies, but it's not necessarily a hierarchical thing. Then Radharani expands into all the gopis, who expand into all the Lakshmis, who expand into all the queens of Dwarka. But even there's not a hierarchy, it's an expansion. Right? So it's not like the gopi would be a servant of Radha, although they have that mood, but it's not hierarchical in the sense that we know in a corporate world. Okay. So similarly, Lord Ram is an expansion of Krishna. Right? Lord Balaram is an expansion of Krishna. So even though they all carry the mood of a servant of Krishna, it's still not a hierarchical. Krishna doesn't say, hey, you do this. And there's no performance review of these people. So I'm sorry, the corporate says it's not hierarchy.
So although Radharani is termed as the topmost gopi, still there is no hierarchy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not in the sense of the corporate world. So the gopis are serving Radharani. The Sakhis are serving Radharani. Gopis are serving Radharani. So you want to call that hierarchy? Yes, the answer is yes. Right? But it's not the relationship is not the boss and servant. So for example, Lalita is known for constantly chastising Radharani. She's also known for constantly chastising Krishna. She doesn't take nonsense from anybody. And what happens is many times Radharani will be so excited to go see Krishna, she hears the flute, starts running towards him. And Lalita will stop him. I say, stop. You did not put mascara in both eyes. Wait a minute. You're not wearing your chunri the right way. You don't have the right combination. Change your clothes. She'll stop her and make her do those things. So a servant cannot do that. And that's what I mean. It's not a hierarchy.
Got it. Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. That
Sure. And there's
clarifies.
also very good friendship. So again, these categories of Sakhis, this highest is Priya Narma Sakhis, who are the most intimate 8 Ashtasakhis.
Yeah.
But then there are other types of Sakhis, similar Sakhas. There are Priya Narma Sakhas, there are other Sakhas. So there's so many different categories. And then you have Manjuris.
Yeah.
Manjuris are living entities. But one Manjuri is expansion of Balaramji. Who's that?
Ananga Manjari.
Ananga Manjari, sister of Radharani. Right? So my point is, it's very, convoluted. So we cannot make it like, just straight line hierarchy. It's not that. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Pallavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
May I ask a question, please?
Of course, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, could you please explain the difference between Shuddha Sattva and Vishuddha Sattva?
No, they said.
They're the same?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Vishuddha and Shuddha mainly same thing. So, but sattva and Vishuddha sattva is different. Sattva could be contaminated by other, but Vishuddha there's no contamination.
So can a living entity attain Shuddha Sattva?
Yes. Once you get to become a pure devotee and reach the spiritual platform, then all the material contamination is gone, and you do reach the platform of Shuddha Sattva or Vishuddha Sattva.
And we address the Lord as Vishuddha Sattva, right?
Yes, because he's never contaminated.
So how do we come to terms with both of that? Like a living entity can come to Shuddha Sattva and the Lord is addressed as Vishuddha Sattva.
Right. So they're in the spiritual world, they're both Vishuddha Sattvas.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
But
Prabhuji.
that doesn't make him equal to Krishna.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But sattva is the same.
The quality, you mean?
Quality, yes. Quality,
Okay.
yes. Sattva is essence, basically.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure. Sure. Anybody else? Okay. I know it's a little complicated, but I thought at least, a little bit we should cover so we have some understanding of these things. Okay. Next paragraph, please.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Oh, please go ahead, Gayatri.
The third Sandarbha is called Paramatma Sandarbha, and in this book there is a description of Paramatma, the Supersoul, and an explanation of how the Supersoul exists in millions and millions of living entities. There are discussions of the differences between the qualitative incarnations and discourses concerning the living entities, Maya, the material world, the theory of transformation, the illusory energy, the sameness of this world, and the Supersoul, and the truth about this material world. In this connection, the opinions of Sridhar Swami are given. It is stated that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although devoid of material qualities, superintends all material activities. There is also a discussion of how the Lila avatar incarnations respond to the desires of the devotees and how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is characterized by 6 opulences.
Thank you. A very powerful book. Paramatma. Let me make a statement. Tell me what you think about it. Paramatma is a customized version of Krishna. How does that grab you? Tell me that makes sense to you.
How we understand it is that he's Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. That's all I.
No, that's true. That is true. That's true. But I'm making a
Tamam
statement.
prapandente. Like, he will reciprocate the way
Yeah, so I think
we
along
perceive
those
as,
lines.
yeah.
Yes. So basically, Paramatma is unique to you and to everybody else. So everybody has their own Paramatma who's watching them. So Paramatma in my heart is not watching Gayatri's heart. There's another Paramatma there, who's in Gayatri's heart and watching her actions and sanctioning and all. So it's customized in that sense. That's all I meant.
Yeah.
It's a light-hearted statement. Don't take it too seriously. Don't analyze it too much. But basically, we all have a Paramatma who's Krishna, but it's individual. Heart is individual, right? Okay, so that's one point I want to make. Second point here is being said, the difference between qualitative incarnations. We talked about that, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Discourse concerning living entities, Maya, the material world, theory of transformation, the illusory energy, Maya again, the sameness of this world, and the super soul, and the truth about this material world. So, what's the truth about material world? The truth is Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita.
Dukhalyam ashashvatam.
Yes, exactly. So that's the truth about material world. Okay, and then now interesting contradictions. It is stated that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although devoid of material qualities, superintends all material activities. There's no material quality in Krishna. What does Krishna say in chapter 9, text 10? Maya adhyakshana prakriti suite sacharacharam. Under my superintendence, this whole material world is working. But it's not of this material world, and it's neither having material qualities, but it's managing them. It's just like Lord Shiva is in charge of mode of ignorance. But is he in mode of ignorance? No way. Right? So same idea. Okay. Okay. And then very important point. It's also a discussion of how the Lila avatar incarnations respond to the desires of the devotees. Now, give me an example of Lila avatar. One name.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. So they appear not because of Dharma Sasthabnarthaya, not because Paritrana Sadhuna, not because Vinasha Duskritam.
Mhm.
That can happen by their energies. They don't have to come, but they come here to satisfy the desire of the devotee. Devotees
Oh.
want them to come here. And that's something very important to remember. Okay? And then the Supreme Personal God is characterized by 6 opulences. The word Bhagavan means the one who has opulences. So anybody know the 6 opulences?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Boliye.
The beauty, strength, beauty, strength, and wealth, renunciation, and knowledge,
Energetic.
And
Most
fame.
energetic.
fame.
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 Yeah.
That's, I heard only 5.
Huh?
I heard only 5. So beauty,
Renunciation.
renunciation, that's right. That's the 6th.
That I did. That I said.
Renunciation.
I said that.
Okay,
renunciation.
I did hear. Okay, thank you. Okay, so those are 6 opulences. So that's the
Yeah.
definition of Bhagwan. Somebody says, I'm Bhagwan, you simply say, okay, 6, show me those 6 opulences.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, next paragraph, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I read?
Please, oh yeah, please go.
The 4th Sandarbha is called Krishna Sandarbha, and in this book, Krishna is proved to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are discussions of Krishna's pastimes and qualities, his superintendence of Pusha Avtaras, and so forth. The opinions of Sridhar Swami are corroborated. In each and every scripture, the supremacy of Krishna is stressed. Baladeva, Sankarshan, and other expansions of Krishna are emanations of Mahasankarshana. All the incarnations and expansions exist simultaneously in the body of Krishna, who is described as two-handed. There are also descriptions of the Golok planet, Vrindavan, the eternal place of Krishna, the identity of Golok and Vrindavan, the Yadavas and then the cowherd boys, both eternal associates of Krishna, the quality of the manifest and unmanifest pastimes, Shri Krishna's manifestation in Gokula, the queens of Dwarka as expansions of the internal potency, and superior to them the super excellent gopis. There is also a list of the gopis' names and a discussion of the topmost position of Srimati Radharani.
Right. So, I mean, you can see how wonderful book these 6 books are, which is part of basically one big book, but separated into 6 different books. So, Krishna Sandarbha talks about Krishna's pastimes and qualities. His superintendence of Purusha avatars. So basically, Purusha avatars are expansions of Krishna. Now, one specific Purusha avatar, I'm sorry, no, forget it. And then all incarnations exist simultaneously in the body of Krishna. So they exist separately and in the body of Krishna both at the same time. Okay. So as a matter of one of the explanations given why Krishna is blue and black is because we take incarnations of all different colors, combine all the colors, it turns to black or very dark blue. So it's not necessarily a very authentic answer, but that's one of the answers. Okay. And then talks about Queens of Dwarka, the expansion of internal potency, and gopis are superior to them, Radha is the topmost or most supreme. Okay. Next paragraph, please.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Please go ahead.
The 5th Sandarbha is called Bhakti Sandarbha, and in this book there is a discussion of how devotional service can be directly executed and how such service can be adjusted, either directly or indirectly. There is a discussion of the knowledge of all kinds of scripture, the establishment of the Vedic institution of Varnashrama, bhakti as superior to fruitive activity, and so forth. It is also stated that without devotional service, even a Brahmana is condemned. There are discussions of the process of karma tyaga, the giving of the results of karma to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the practices of mystic yoga and philosophical speculation, which are deprecated as simply hard labor. Worship of the demigods is discouraged, and worship of a Vaishnava is considered exalted. No respect is given to the non devotees. There are discussions of how one can be liberated even in this life, Jivan Mukta, Lord Shiva as a devotee, and how a bhakta and his devotional service are eternally existing. It is stated that through bhakti one can attain all success because bhakti is transcendental to the material qualities. There is a discussion of how the self is manifest through bhakti. There is also a discussion of the self's bliss, as well as how bhakti, even imperfectly executed, enables one to attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unmotivated devotional service is highly praised, and an explanation is given of how each devotee can achieve the platform of unmotivated service by association with other devotees. There is a discussion of the differences between the Mahabhagavata and the ordinary devotee, the symptoms of philosophical speculation, the symptoms of self worship, or ahangrahopashana, the symptoms of devotional service, the symptoms of imaginary perfection, the acceptance of regulative principles, service to the spiritual master, the Mahabhagavata, liberated devotee and service to him, service to Vaishnavas in general, the principles of hearing, chanting, remembering, and serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offenses in worship, offensive effects, prayers, engaging oneself as an eternal servant of the Lord, making friendships with the Lord, and surrendering everything for his pleasure. There is also a discussion of Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous love of Godhead, of the specific purpose of becoming a devotee of Lord Krishna, and a comparative study of other perfectional stages.
Very well. So this Bhakti Sandarbha is talking about Bhakti. What else will it talk about? And it talks about and this we were discussing last night also in our Bhagavatam class, the uselessness of spending time in studying the Vedas if the purpose is to become a jnani and merge in the Brahman effulgence. Saying it's as useless as taking care of a cow that does not give milk. And similarly, things like karma tyaga, mystic yoga, philosophical speculations, they're all useless because they are not connecting you directly to Krishna. Anything that does not end in the development of love of Krishna is considered useless labor. There's a verse in Bhagavatam also, na utpatiyed yatiratim shameva kevalam. If anything you do does not produce love of Krishna in your heart, that's useless labor. So again, it's all discussed here. And it says here, because the bhakti is transcendental to the material qualities, you can attain all success through bhakti, including knowing Krishna. Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So only through the process of devotional service can you know me, because then he reveals himself. Right? So he says that's the only thing that give you all success. And then he says, go ahead, even if imperfectly executed, you can attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So there's 64 offenses against deity worship mentioned in this book. The Prabhupada also mentions in Bhagavatam in the 6th canto, when he's talking about Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam verse, he talks about the 64 offenses. And the point is that most of us commit many of those offenses. And Krishna says, it's okay, you can still keep coming back. You can keep coming back. So he's very forgiving in that way. And the best kind of bhakti is ane abhilashta shunyam, unmotivated. Because unmotivated means you're doing it simply for the pleasure of Krishna, not because you want something from Krishna. And it talks about the stupidity and the uselessness of asking for something from Krishna, asking something material from Krishna. And Prabhupada said, it's like going to a billionaire and saying, can you please give me 5 cents? If you work so hard to get an appointment with a billionaire, and then all you want is 5 cents, you're going to come to me for 5 cents. Right? So therefore, why go to Krishna and ask for something material? That's so useless. So it's talk about unmotivated devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna. And then talks about Mahabhagavad, an ordinary devotee. So Bhagavad and Mahabhagavad. So actually there's a definition given here, also repeated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Later on, we'll read that. It says, how does it go? देखे ना देखे तार मूर्ति सर्वत्र होय तारे इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति स्थावर जंगम न देखे देखे तार मूर्ति सर्वत्र होय तारे इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. The Mahabharata does not see an animal, does not see a tree, does not see another man. In everything he sees Krishna. That's Mahabharata. That's completely absorbed all times, understands fully everything is from Krishna. Everything represents the energy of Krishna. And therefore, nothing exists without Krishna for this person. Nothing exists independent of Krishna. It talks about symptoms of philosophical speculation, of course. We don't want that. Symptoms of devotional service, regulatory principles, service to the spiritual master, Guru Seva, which is so important. And serving the great Vaishnava, Mahabharata. The importance of that and the benefits of that. Right? And it talks about the 9 processes of devotional service. And then ultimately talks about Raganuga Bhakti. What's Raganuga Bhakti?
Spontaneous love.
Sorry, Mataji?
Spontaneous love.
Spontaneous, absolutely right. Spontaneous love of Krishna. So, although it is part of sadhana bhakti has 2 parts, Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. So you're still doing sadhana, but now you're doing out of love. So there are 4 reasons for performing devotional service. One is out of fear. You're afraid to go to hell, or something will go wrong. So out of fear we do bhakti. Second is called ashabadha. Means we have hope. We want something material. We want something from Krishna, so we perform the service. Okay. Third is hope. I'm sorry, I didn't say it right. Hope is ashabadha. Third is duty. Because Krishna has done so much for us, it's our duty to serve him. The fourth is out of love. So therefore, Raganuga is called higher than any other sadhana bhakti you can do, especially Vaidhi bhakti, because this is pure spontaneous love. And of course, Raganuga bhakti leads to what kind of bhakti? Anybody knows? What does Raganuga bhakti lead to?
Radhatmika.
Bhavan Prema.
Bhava bhakti, that finally leads to Prema bhakti, which is the ultimate. Okay? All right, let's do the next paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
There is one sentence after that, how unmotivated devotional service, that sentence, it follows an explanation is given how each devotee can achieve the platform of unmotivated service by association of other devotees. So one can.
Oh yeah, okay. So unmotivated devotional service is highly praised, and an explanation is given of how each devotee can achieve the platform of unmotivated devotional service by association. So basically now it's talking about devotee association. Okay, right? On our own, Maya is very strong. And alone we cannot fight Maya. But together we are able to, because each one continues to encourage and hold them. Right? If you look at that verse, chapter 10, text 9, Machitta Madgat Prana Bodhyantas Paraspara, right? Kathan says Mamnitya, Dushyanticha, Ramanticha. So their enjoyment, their satisfaction, they all comes from discussing Krishna Katha. So they're constantly engaged in doing Krishna Katha. Maya doesn't have room to attack.
Yep.
That's how it becomes unmotivated service. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Sure. Anybody else? Okay, let's see the next paragraph.
Shall I read it, Prabhuji?
Please, Mataji, go ahead.
The sixth Sandarbh is called Priti Sandarbh as a thesis on love of Godhead. Here it is stated that through love of Godhead, one can becomes perfectly liberated and attains the highest goal of life. A distinction is made between the liberated condition of a personalist and that of an impersonalist, and there is a discussion of liberation during one's lifetime as distinguished from liberation from material bondage. Of all kinds of liberation, liberation in loving service to the Lord is described as the most exalted, and meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face is shown to be the highest perfection of life. Immediate liberation is contrasted with liberation by a gradual process. Both realization of Brahman and meeting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead are described as liberation within one's lifetime, but meeting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, both internally and externally, is shown to be super excellent, above the transcendental realization of the Brahman effulgence. There is a comparative study of liberation as Salokya, Samipya, and Sarupya. Samipya is better than Salokya. Devotion service is considered to be liberation with greater facilities, and there is a discussion of how to obtain it. There are also discussions of the transcendental state one achieves after attaining the devotional platform, which is the exact position of love of Godhead. The marginal symptoms of transcendental love and how it is awakened, the distinction between the so-called love and the transcendental love on the platform of love of Godhead, and the different types of humors and mellows enjoyed in relishing the lusty affairs of the gopis, which are different from mundane affairs, which in turn are symbolic representations of pure love of Krishna. There are also discussions of bhakti mixed with philosophical speculation, the super excellence of the love of gopis, the difference between the opulent devotion service and the loving devotional service, the exalted position of the residents of Gokul, the progressively exalted position of the friends of Krishna, the gopas and the gopis in the parental love with Krishna, and finally the super excellence of the love of the gopis and that of Srimati Radharani. There is also a discussion of how spiritual feelings can be present when one simply imitates them, and of how such mellows are far superior to the ordinary mellows of mundane love. And there are descriptions of different ecstasies, the awakening of the ecstasy, the transcendental quality, distinction of Dhirodhatta, the utmost attraction of the conjugal love, the ecstatic features, the permanent ecstatic features, the mellows divided in five transcendental features of direct loving service and indirect loving service, considered in seven divisions. Finally, there is a discussion of overlapping of different rasas, and there are discussions of Shanta, servitorship, taking shelter, parental love, conjugal love, direct transcendental enjoyment, and enjoyment in separation, previous attraction, and the glories of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very important.
This is so powerful. Okay. So the word Preeti itself means love. So Preeti Sandarbha is about the love of God. And the highest goal of life is also love of God. It says that it talks about the distinction between the liberated condition of a personalist. What's a personalist?
Who believes there is a form of God. There
Yes,
is a
correct, exactly. Not Mayavadi.
Mayavad.
And that of an impersonal. So who's not impersonal, Mayavadi? So basically saying there's a difference between the liberation that a personalist devotee gets versus the liberation of an impersonal. So where's the liberation for impersonalist? Where does
in
the
the
liberation?
Brahman effulgence.
Brahman effulgence.
Brahman
Brahman
effulgence.
effulgence is characterized by what?
They merge in the body.
No, no. Brahman effulgence characterized. What's the characterization or characteristics of Brahman effulgence?
There is a light,
Light.
and there is
Light.
nothing you're doing there. So finally you come back to earth, and then you have to
Okay.
again practice.
So basically it's light
Right.
and relatively speaking, very little pleasure, very small amount of bliss.
And no service.
And there's no service, correct. So that's Brahman effulgence. Versus the personalist who goes to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha or Goloka. Right? There they service. And the pleasure of that service is a million times more, as explained by Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion, than Brahman effulgence, emerging in the Brahman effulgence. Okay, is that point clear? So that's what that's talking about here. Okay. And then distinguish from liberation from material bondage. Okay. Of all kinds of liberation, okay, we just talked about that. Meeting this God face to face is shown to be the highest. So this personalist can meet Krishna face to face, now in front of Krishna. Okay. Okay, let's see what else is there. Comparative study of liberation as Salokya. What's Salokya Mukti? Anybody knows?
In the same planet, when you reside in the same planet.
Yes.
Yes.
Samit,
Living
You're very close to the God and you're serving directly.
right.
living in the
The example of Samipya Mukti is Jay and Vijay. They're very close to the gatekeepers, seeing him every day. Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana will pass by every day. That's Samipya. What Sarupya mean?
having the same form as
Same form, same features. So
yeah.
in Vaikuntha, everybody's four-handed.
Yes.
They have same color. They look exactly like Vishnu.
Yes.
What is the difference then?
The cost of money
Yes.
and the Lakshmi ji.
Yes.
Shrivatsa.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the Lakshmi ji residing on the chest. Right,
Correct.
Prabhuji?
Srivastsa Rekha,
Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Pallavi Mata, you were saying something?
What did you say, Prabhuji? What did you say about
I
the
said the
Sarupya?
Shrivatsa.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Lakshmi resides as a white line of hair on his chest. It's called Srivatsa Rekha.
Okay.
So the devotees who get Sarupya don't have that. And then what was the other difference?
The cost of money?
Cost of money, right?
Hmm.
So those two are the differences. Even the Sarupya, but these two things are not present. Okay.
Prabhuji, just to share one thing, I was reading a quote the other day wherein if Lakshmi ji has taken the place of the devotees, that is at the feet of the Vishnu, and if there is going to be ever happening a fight between Lakshmi ji and the devotees, Vishnu ji will take the side of devotees always.
Haribol. He takes chances. I guess it's God. It has to
Very
be God
nice.
to fight with his wife like that.
Yeah, but Vishnu ji is always taking the side of devotees, not Lakshmi
Haribol.
ji.
Haribol. Yeah. Yeah. Pallavi Mata, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just said the Shrivatsa itself. But Prabhuji, I had a question.
Go ahead.
So, if I may. So
Yeah.
you said the example for Samipya Mukti was Jay and Vijay, right?
Jai and Vijay, yes.
So, but they are also having Salokya, right? They live the same planet as well as they have the four Chaturbhuja form, right?
Yes.
So how
Yes. So basically, they get all those.
Yes.
For example, Sarupya may or may not be on the same planet, but the same form. Samipya will have Sarupya and Salokya and the Samipya. Salokya will have only Sarupya and Salokya. So yeah, just like the mellows we talked about, conjugal have all the mellows. Similarly here.
Okay, so there is a mix.
This mix, yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure. Okay. Now, it says Samip is better than Salok for obvious reasons, right? Do the devotees want any of this?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
They only want service and to be closer to Krishna or
But what does
Vishnu.
Krishna say? No, 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 I'll give it to you anyway. Right? They're not asking for it. Okay, I'll give it to you anyway. Right. Now, in Vrindavan, is the Sarupya?
Vrindavan, no.
Yes.
There is. How come?
No, no, I'm not saying
Uddhava?
anything.
Uddhava?
In Vaikuntha, there is Sarupya. In Vrindavan, is there Sarupya?
No.
No. That's right.
No.
Then Prabhuji, Uddhava is not in Vrindavan?
No, but he doesn't have Sarupya. He looks like him, but that's not Sarupya Mukti.
He's all like he's.
The same
I mean,
features. He looks very much like him. He's a cousin of Krishna. That's why it's features same. But it's not because he's Sarupya Mukti.
he's beyond liberation. Is that how we are going to put it? Like,
Yeah, he's the only one who
pure
looks like
devotee.
him, but it's not because of Sarupya Mukti.
Got it, Prabhuji.
I'm sorry?
I got it, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Sure. Okay. Yeah, so devotees said, no, we don't want mukti. As about after Yamuna Acharya sings that, when I looked, Mukti was standing with hands folded behind Krishna. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. So devotees have nothing to do with Mukti. They only want service. This is why Lord Chaitanya said in Shikshashtakam, Mam Janmani Janmeshware Bhavtat Bhaktir Ahatikitve. So life after life, which means I don't want Mukti. I keep sending me back. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the same thing. Make me a mosquito in the house of a Vaishnava. I don't want Brahma if I'm not serving you. So this is important. Okay. There are also discussions of translate state one achieves after attaining the devotional platform, which is the exact position of love of God. So yeah, when you have love of Godhead, you achieve the devotional platform. And then there's features of that love or that bliss. How is it awakened? So awakened is the key word. There's no way, no process that can create the love of Godhead.
It's awakened.
It's always there. Krishna Prem Nitya Siddha, Sadhya Kabhu Noy. There's no process to get it. It's already there. Nitya Siddha.
Only you have to awaken it.
Shravan Adi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Uday. If you have pure heart, we hear a chant, it'll be rekindled.
Work hard.
Okay? And then lusty affairs of
Yes.
gopis are different from mundane affairs. What's the difference?
That gopis are in pure love with Krishna, where in material world there is only attraction and
That is
lust.
transcendental.
That's
That
it.
is transcendental
Help me
love.
first. Don't give me different words. What is the
Okay.
difference?
Yeah, in gopis to satisfy the desire of the Krishna and love it's our own.
Correct. That's the difference. Devotee's love is for the pleasure of Krishna, the lover, or the love that you say. Pleasure of love. In mundane world, it's about my pleasure. And if
Yes.
my so-called beloved does not give me pleasure anymore, then I say, goodbye, I'll find somebody else. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
And let's see. There's a difference between opulent devotional service and loving devotional service. What's the difference? Opulent devotional service and loving devotional service. And where
think-
is that?
Opulent is with awe and reverence.
Yes. Yes. And that's in Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha.
And loving is in Vrindavan, Golok. Okay? Because they don't know he's God. Even when manifest pastimes, Krishna says, I'm God. Oh, yeah, sure, I'm God too. Nobody believes it. That's why in Vrindavan, Krishna never said, Sarv Dhaman Pai. They say, Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Take my shelter. And they say, what do you mean? You take my shelter. So totally different mood. They absolutely refuse to acknowledge Krishna is God. And that's loving. Okay. All right, let's see what else. Okay, awakening of ecstasis we talked about. The utmost attractiveness of conjugal love. So conjugal love is the highest, as we know. Even for Krishna, that gives the most pleasure. And that is why it is said that Dwarka is superior to Vaikuntha. Mathura is superior to Dwarka. Vrindavan is superior to Mathura. Govardhan Parvat is superior to Vrindavan. And Radhakund is superior to Govardhan.
Govardhan Hill.
Why? Because the mellow in which Krishna has his pastimes, the sweetness of the mellow. So that's what makes the difference. The hierarchy is there because of that. It talks about mellows divided 5 features. We talked about them. And 7 divisions, we talked about them as secondary mellows. We talked about that. Okay, and then this overlapping of different rasas. So it's not, a straight line. Don't fall off the cliff. And this is why I was saying that Madhurya has Vatsalya, it has Sakya, it has Dasya. So there's some overlapping of all those mellows. Those are things discussed in great detail in PT Sundar. Okay, so it's 9:33 already. I'm going to stop, but if there are any quick questions, I can answer them. Then we stop.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Actually,
So it's a good that we went through details about some of these books and something, Prabhuji. Even it takes time, but we were not aware many things. You can see how briefly summarization form at least is given in some this purport. So at least we have glimpse of it, what is there. Maybe,
Yes.
one day we can have a desire to go and maybe read that. I think it's the beauty of Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srila Prabhupada. He's bringing
Srila
everything
Prabhupada's amazing.
in a form so that he gives where you want to go and where to look for and
Yes.
what to look for. So
Yes.
nice. Thank you. And you did so nice, Prabhuji, trying to give the word meaning to at least give some encouragement to see
Yes.
what is there.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And definitely these 6 books are worth reading if you have time. And they're not very difficult. Like other books that Ujjwal Nilamani and all that, they're very esoteric, very difficult. But these 6 books, it's fine. And they're available in English also. So that's the other thing. Okay.
Hare
Anyone else?
Krishna Prabhuji, I have a doubt. May I ask?
Of course, Mataji, go ahead.
So this is a question about the Paramatma. So the Lord accompanies as Paramatma with the Jiva, right? So does he do it by his own will, or is it the Jiva asking him to accompany him?
No, that's the system he set up.
That is a setup.
Yeah, so they have absolute truth comes in 3 features.
Yeah, the Brahman, the Paramatma, and the Bhagavan,
Yeah,
right?
so that's an intrinsic feature of the absolute truth. And one of
Okay.
those Paramatma manifests himself is by residing in the heart of of everybody. Like this is
Everybody.
the thing. Like even you could be the biggest rascal in the world. You could be the worst kind of worm, but he's still there in your heart.
Right. So the Lord decides to come with us, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely
Thank you.
decision. And you could say it's a mercy.
Mercy.
Yeah.
It's a compassion of the Lord, Prabhuji.
Correct,
That's
yes.
what he said.
Exactly.
That's the
Compassion.
characteristic. The Lord is
Exactly.
always compassionate.
And he
That
doesn't
is
give
his
up on us.
nature.
You could be
Yes.
the worst kind of person or entity, but still does not give up on us. You know,
Okay.
become a rat or become a Duryodhan.
Atheist, right? Even an atheist, right?
Excuse me?
Even an atheist, right?
Even
Like
an
the Lord
atheist.
still
That's
comes.
right. Thank you, Mataji. Even an atheist, blasphemer, rascal, the demon, he still says, that's okay. I'll stay with you.
Okay. And another question, Prabhuji, if I may. I'm so
Sure.
sorry, I have a lot of
No,
questions.
Mataji, please don't be sorry. It's okay.
So in the scriptures, we read so many times like a word called as dog eater, right?
Yes.
What does it really mean? Like, how do we perceive it?
It literally means somebody who is dark is considered very low. So in the second chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Shunya Shapakocha, right? Pandita Samdarshana.
Huh.
Remember that verse?
Yeah, the symptoms of the dhira, is that what you're
Right.
talking about?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Symptom of Dhira.
Okay.
So yeah, so
But
there are
dog eater means, does he really eat the dog, and that is how he's classified as
yes,
dog eater?
yes. Like this Chandal, even below Chandal is so you have the 4
That is
varnas.
another question. Who is a chandal then? I mean, I'm so confused. There's so many words.
Yeah, I know. There's the many words. So Chandal is someone who does not follow any varnashram.
Oh, okay.
Right? So like 4 varnashram, the lowest is Shudra. And so why is this Shudra? Because they're simply serving other 3, and they don't study the Vedas, the scriptures. They have no knowledge of that, and they may or maybe, but they may or may not be religious, or certainly they have no knowledge of scriptures. So that's why they're considered lowest. But even below them is one who doesn't even follow the varnashram.
Okay.
And that's where Chandal comes in. But in Chandal, they have different categories. The lowest of them is the one who's eating dog. So they could be
Oh,
eating other meat, buffalo, horse, and all those kind of things. Mataji, you wouldn't believe. I mean, I could tell you stories that'll disgust you. In one of the Far Eastern countries, the custom is to get roadkills. You know what roadkill is? You know,
yeah. So like
dog or a
the
cat or
drive
a
and
skunk hit by a car. So they bring the
right.
body and they put in a box, like a basket, in front of their house and let it rot. When it's totally rotten and put it, then they boil it and eat it.
Oh, Govinda.
This is a real story. Not a story, real fact.
Real.
In China, they'll eat anything that crawls. So they'll fry the crickets and chew them because very crusty and crisp.
Oh,
So
Krishna.
there are all sorts of people, Mataji.
Okay.
Like we are very sheltered. We are very, very sheltered. And thank God for that. We don't want
Yeah.
to eat us. But yeah,
Absolutely.
this
Thank
world
you.
is a horrible place, Mataji.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for clearing this, Prabhuji. Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, on that also, Krishna says 4 type of people do not come. Naradhama
Yeah, that's right.
and Adam. These are the people beyond that Varnashrama.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much,
Jai.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bhakti.
much, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you.
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji.
Very nice class.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी आज जो गोपाल कृष्ण उनका नाम था निर्मल भैन जी, वो तो सीधे बकुंठ में गए हैं। उनकी डेथ कास्ती वाले दिन हुई थी और
क्या
डेथ हुई है ना हमारे डिवोटी निर्मल
गुरु महाराज
की डिसाइपल
हाँ
निर्मला देवी
दासी
ब्रह्मटन विद्यानिधि की माता विद्यानिधि की मदर।
हाँ जी, वो तो सीधे बकुंठ में गए प्रभु जी। उन्होंने ना जब हरे